Both Beyonce and Kim Kardashian West are known for their beauty, but one thing they get overlooked about is their brilliance when it comes to business. What are a couple business lessons that you can learn and take away from two of the most beautiful women, but also brilliant business women? In this episode, I want to break down Kim Kardashian West and Beyonce Knowles-Carter business model and show you a couple things you can take away from it that you can use in your brand, your business, and to grow your bank account. I like her. I was talking about, can you pay my bills? No, sounds expensive. Sounds expensive. I can't pay not one of them. She made you care. What type of business do you want? Do you want the Kim K business model? Nothing wrong with either one. It's just a matter of choosing your strategy. High visibility, where you're constantly focusing on how do I get more people's attention more often, hold their attention, and try to figure out a whole lot of products in that space, or the Beyonce effect, where you become the prototype, the brand, the extension of that people want to identify with. Yo, you mean to tell me that somebody got a bachelor's degree in Kim Kardashian? If you're watching this video, you're about to make a whole lot of money. Welcome back. Now, in today's episode, it's something that you might not have thought about, and I want to break down both of their business models. Now, I got to give a disclaimer. This video is not to do anything disrespectful or distasteful, but it's actually to pay homage to something that we might not be looking at and paying close attention to. So when we think about, let's start first with Kim Kardashian West. Now, we just going to have to call her Kim K. Mama not Kim K, I'm going to call her Kim K. I can't be saying all them names every time, but Kim Kardashian West, we always talk about her beauty and people pick at her, people talk about all these things. However, one thing you have to think about is you don't guess your way, Google your way, or get followers to $1 billion. That don't happen by accident. That happens by strategy. So what is the business model that takes a person from just being a beautiful face to being a $1 billion mogul? Well, I think you ought to look at it in this way. That one of the brilliant things that she strategically did, and what we all should be thinking about in the information age, and this is probably point number one that you should write down, her brilliance is that she has learned how to monetize attention. Now, you ought to write this down. She's learned how to monetize attention. Part of her business model is to get people, large groups of people, to be able to capture, hold their attention, whether that's through modeling or whether that's through a television show. I'll say it in a different way. She made you care. The fact that you would argue with a family member, the fact that you would argue in comments on Instagram with strangers you don't know about a Kim K that you don't know means that you care. Why would you spend time out of your day? And you do realize, here's what I teach my clients. Every time a post goes viral, somebody's getting paid, and chances are it's not you. So the brilliance in it is, a big part of her business model is strategically redirect attention. So let's just say, if 100 million people are talking about something negative, well, you do realize that there are advertisers that want to get in front of 100 million people, whether that's negative or positive. The news makes money off of holding people's attention, sharing bad news. Now, if you have a business model, you do realize this is why blog pages, this is why gossip articles exist, because they realize that holding people's attention is a valuable resource. Now, I got to take this further of why this is a multi-billion-dollar business that you can get into. The ability to be able to get attention, hold attention, and monetize attention. What do you think that people, why would someone pay so much money to have a 30-second or a 20-second spot during the Super Bowl? Because the Super Bowl has millions of people's attention. So advertisers say, I'll pay you to get some of that attention. You get it now. Where does the salaries come from NBA players and NFL players? How can you afford to play LeBron that much money? Well, ABC, NBC, ESPN said, hey, we're a television network where we are in the business of holding people's attention with entertainment. The NBA team says, hey, let's broker a contract with the television network. Well, how does the NBA team get the money from the television network? Well, the television network says we need something to hold their attention. So the NBA says, I'll sell you LeBron James. So they pay LeBron because we're interested in LeBron. And now the NBA and the television network pays LeBron because LeBron is the only thing that holds our attention. Attention is $1 billion trillion business. Anytime you find attention, you will find money. Brilliant, Kim K, brilliant. 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. I don't know how many seasons it is of keeping up with the whoever we keeping up with, right? It doesn't matter. All that matters is, yo, NBA basketball game is about 3 hours. Yo, you're talking about an hour every single week, 4 hours a month? Yo, I used to be in college and I had a class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 50 minutes. Keeping Up with the Kardashians come on 4 times. Yo, you mean to tell me that somebody got a bachelor's degree in Kim Kardashian? Yes, because attention is the highest level of revenue that we can all maximize. This is why social media is free for you, because they're selling you. Sold to the highest bidder, right? So one of the things that you got to pay attention to with Kim Kardashian's business model is attention. Let's go to the board and break down a few other things. We've got to pause right there because I'm in the giving mood. I decided to offer you a free gift, absolutely free. Now, I tell you all the time about turning your ideas into online income, but how am I going to tell you to do something and not provide the resource for it? There's so many questions that people have online about what should I post? How do I get my engagement up? How do I get people to click the link in my bio, buy from me? What should I sell, whether it's an ebook, an online course? How much should I charge? How do I launch? How do I do a webinar? You see what I'm saying? So I decided to create a free training and give it to you that you can utilize to learn how to literally take the services that you do or the ideas you have and build a successful online company. Go to www.monetizewithmarcus.com, my gift to you. You're welcome. All right, let's break down this marketing play. Let's go to Kim Kardashian's West business model. Now, we mentioned one brilliant thing that she has successfully done. Let's put it right here. She's in the business of monetizing attention. Great business model. Now, what's required to do this and how can you do it? Well, it's extremely difficult to get and keep people's attention. That's why the average shelf life of content is less than a couple of hours, 24 at most. So one of the things that has to be present is not just the attention of everything, it's visibility. Now, you're like, Marcus, how is visibility and attention not the same thing? Very different. Because everything that gets your attention doesn't keep your attention, and visibility is how you position yourself to be seen. I can make a lot of noise and get your attention, but visibility is something that you can't ignore. So when we're talking about, there's a concept in marketing, or what people do all the time when it comes to titling of videos, or polarization. It's where you do something that's risque, that polarizes people, holds their attention, that makes it to where you are using other people's natural conversations as a part of your marketing. Like every time, and no shade to my man, but it's almost as if whenever Kanye get ready to come out with an album, he finds a way to make the whole internet talk about him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that increases his visibility and it holds people's attention. These two work hand in hand. These two work hand in hand, and you become a part of the marketing. All right. Now, I won't go into all the different products, whether it be scams, whether it be the television show, whether it be TV, which is a distribution channel to be able to market and do placement for both attention, visibility, and products, right? Because you get a chance to, with attention and visibility, watch her build companies that now you care about. So now you could have walked into a store and saw Skims and didn't know what it was, but because of the attention and visibility, you now have awareness of a product. Great business model. Great business model. So when we talk about TV, and I can go on and on and on, from perfumes, from beauty, but it's amazing that you met her and became aware of her based on beauty. So she basically vertically integrated her entire brand surrounding beauty products. So now you can buy the thing connected to what you know her as. Brilliant, girl. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Now we got to get to Beyonce. We got to get to Beyonce. Pretty good, right? Pretty good business model. Now we got to get to Beyonce because I like her. I'm talking about, can you pay my bills? No, sounds expensive. Sounds expensive. I can't pay not one of them. But when we're talking about Beyonce, what is her business model? And how can you do the same? Now, I'll go backwards. Kim Kardashian business model requires high level of visibility. Constantly being seen, photos, posting, etc. You don't see Beyonce spend a lot of time allowing you into her life unless she wants to. I mean, the girl don't even tell you when an album coming. You look, what you doing today? Girl, Beyonce done dropped an album. You know, full tour, plans change. Well, I had dinner at 7. What you doing now? I got to cancel. I got to listen to Beyonce's album. All right. So the difference is this. One's business model is built on high visibility. The other person's business model is built on something we know about in business, brand proposition. The brand proposition of any business, it's where the value is in the person's skill, ability, what you know. Let me say it in a different way. You know what it is they have to offer, so you can blindly buy it because you can trust the product. Amazon does a great job with this. You're not hesitant to buy from Amazon. Why? Because you know you're going to get your money back. But you will be hesitant to buy from other people because their brand proposition is different. You know what you get when you get them. So why can people blindly go to a tour and listen to songs they don't know? Why can they buy an album without knowing whether it's going to be good or not? Because the person's brand has positioned them that you trust the brand and its proposition. All right? So you don't have to do high level of visibility, because here's the dope part. A part of her brand is to not be seen. She doesn't oversaturate it, and now there's an anticipation and excitement about trying to figure out what's the next move. So it doesn't take as much announcement. And here's what's powerful about how Beyonce has built her brand. Please listen to this real quick. If before you had to go to radio, TV, you had to do marketing, billboards, all this extra expense, and all these people you had to include and put their hands in your pocket. If you can do a surprise album and outsell when you used to do a full promo tour, guess what happens now? All of those shows that want to talk to you got to pay you, where before you were trying to get them to have you on. Now they're begging to have you on. You change your whole brand position. You pay me more when I don't need you. Oh, Lord. I'm trying to tell you now, to my fellas. Y'all know what it is. Back in the day, we used to be, hey, excuse me, Miss Lady. That thing totally different when you put that, when you start getting dressed and you pull up in that thing. She's like, hey, excuse me, is that your car? The game changes when your brand changes. So now you cannot make demands unless you are in demand. So Beyonce can make demands because she is in demand. But let's break down her business model. All right, totally different from this one now that demands high visibility, that demands high levels of attention. This one is different. This is a luxury model, and I'll break down at the end how you can choose which one. Beyonce's business model is more of a luxury model. What does that mean? What does that mean? So I'm a watch guy, so I'll use my watches as an example. This is a Rolex Date Jess. I got the Rolex Date, the Presidential. I've got an AP, a few other watches. Here's what's amazing. When you start talking about Rolex, you can go in, you can get on the list, right? They ain't gonna give you one right away. You gotta get on the list, wait till they call you. When it comes to AP, they are relationship based, that you gotta fill out something. And even if you have the money, it ain't like, hey, let me get that one. Now you can go to the jewelry store and do that, but I'm talking about the real deal going to the store. You ain't going in like, let me get that AP right there. Let me get that Patek right there. It's not gonna happen. Why would they do such a thing? Because they realize their brand proposition is not a matter of how many people can have access to it. They want to do limited supply, limited amount of people, high levels of brand proposition, because they realize the value is not just in you and how many people wear my watch, but it's who we allow to wear our watch. So it changed the whole positioning to say, even if you gotta think, you're talking about the date is $40,000. Imagine being in a position that you tell people with $40,000, no, you can't have one. Imagine being AP and you're like, yo, for the Royal Oak, $55,000, $60,000, no, you can't have one. That's this. That's limiting the accessibility and the access to you and making it to where you are the brand, and now your position is different, where you are not chasing, you are attracting. Are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? You're not chasing, you're attracting. Okay, so what does this look like in a business model? Let's flip the script. In the coaching space, this is why people do applications. You should quit working for free. How did social media hire all of us to be their workforce? We're on the app posting videos, going live, creating reels. We do not get paid when we create content on social media. They do, by selling our content to advertisers. But how do you actually build an online business using social media? I want to break it down for you and give you access to it. There's 5 simple steps. I'll tell it to you in a few seconds. Step number 1 is client attraction. I'm going to show you how to actually attract clients that will happily pay you what you're offering. Step number 2, how to capture them. How do you get their emails? How do you get their phone numbers? How do you get them to show up to your event, be on your Zoom calls, to what I refer to as client dating. It's where you nurture a relationship with people to get them to say yes to whatever you're offering. And I'm even going to show you what type of content to create that gives you brand visibility and brand recognition. I call it content to cash flow. You get access wherever you're watching this video. You'll see it in the description and you'll see it beneath this. Let's get back to the episode. With this Beyonce model, you're talking about positioning it to where you are the value. Your brand is the value. You're working with less people. You're doing more scarcity marketing, where limited quantity, limited amount, limited accessibility. So this might contribute to posting less, but when you do, you come out with something that is so, I'm gonna use a $2 word, grandiose, that everyone gets to talking about it and no one wants, and FOMO is built into it. So one is high visibility, always in your face. The other is less visibility, less quantity, this exclusive club of people that now self-identify with you. This is, I'm gonna keep using different businesses. In another episode we'll do this. This is what makes people on this side call everything, every place you buy coffee from, like Racetrack, Quick Trip, you call it coffee, but when it comes to Starbucks, you call it your Starbucks. It's where someone has so much market share that they identify, and it's an extension of who they are. Hey, hand me my MacBook. Your laptop? When it comes to Beyonce, people self-identify themselves with her in a very different way, so the strength of her brand is there. Now, you can choose to do this. This is not something that you got to watch them and marvel and wonder how they did it. You can make a decision and say, what type of business do I want to build? Do I want a business where a part of my business is to constantly be visible? I want to be in every room, be at every event. I want to be in photos. I want to constantly post more. Or do you want to say, hey, I'm going to create a business model where, like I used to do this. I had a program where it only opened up twice a year. You knew you was on the wait list all year and we only took 10 slots. Now, why did we do that? I didn't want to take so many people because of a lot of done-for-you services in it. So people, the value proposition was so strong that we were building out your entire business. I did this when we did done-for-you book writing. Limited amount of people, high value that they received. It didn't require as much visibility because people knew that they wanted. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can choose this. What type of business do you want? Do you want the Kim K business model? Nothing wrong with either one. It's just a matter of choosing your strategy to make sure that you can execute on it. High visibility, where you're constantly focusing on how do I get more people's attention more often, hold their attention, and try to figure out a whole lot of products in that space. Or the Beyonce effect, where you become the prototype, the brand, the extension of that people want to identify with. Shout out to both of them who are in the Billionaire Club. Continue to lead the way. I hope you learn from this particular episode. I'll see you in the next one. If you need me, I'll be over here minding my online business.